Good evening and welcome to our lesson on word problems. You should have your guided note from in class today. If you don't have it, there are extra copies of it on Moodle and you can print it off so that you don't have to write all the notes down. I wanted to include the learning goal in this lesson. You can write it down on your learning goal sheet right now if you'd like to, or tomorrow during class. The date you should write beside it is February 25th. That's tomorrow, and that's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. Right now I need you to write down these 5 steps. They are the 5 steps you are going to follow when solving word problems. The first one is to highlight keywords. Remember back to when we were working with going from phrases to equations? Well, we're going to do exactly that, but just with a word problem. Then write a let statement. Those are the statements that say let A, which would be our variable, represent, I'll just put rep, the number of apples or whatever your question is talking about. The next step is to make an equation. An equation would be like, we'll do A. A plus 4 equals 12, and we'd have to solve for the number of apples A. Then number 4 is to solve it. And number 5, of course, it's a word question, so you need a word answer. Now we're going to do 2 examples. The first example, you pay for refreshments, which would be food or drinks, at a movie theater with a $10 bill. The refreshments cost $5.73. Write an equation to find how much change you should receive and solve the equation. Well, our first step is to highlight the keywords. The keywords I'm going to highlight is $10 for our bill, that the refreshments cost $5.73, and that we're going to write an equation to find how much change you should receive. So we have our highlighted keywords. Our next step is to write a let statement. My let statement is going to talk about how much change. So I'm going to say let C represent, I'm just going to write rep, the amount of change. You should be writing this on your guided note as well. Okay. Our next step is to make an equation. This might be the hardest part for you. Look at the 3 things we've highlighted. We know that our equation needs to include all 3 of those things. Our refreshments cost $5.73. We gave them $10. So we know that this whole equation together must equal $10. We paid it cost $5.73 plus C. We paid $5.73. The amount of change we are going to get is C for the amount we paid, which is $10. If you're struggling with this, read through the question again and then look at my equation. Think about why it makes sense. Our next step is to solve the equation. We need to solve for our variable C. To do that, because it's addition, I'm going to subtract $5.73 from each side. I'm going to add a decimal point over here in $5.73. Remember, when you're subtracting decimals, they need to line up. This will give us 0. Subtract this. I need to borrow from this 1 of 10. That becomes 9. 10 becomes 9, 10. 10 minus 3 is 7. 9 minus 7 is 2. Then we put our decimal spot in. 9 minus 5 is 4. It's important that you then write C equals 427. You need to write this C equals because it's not just 427. We know that C, which is our change, amount of change we have, is 425. Now, word question, so we need a word answer. I should receive $4.25 as change. Sorry about my writing, it's really messy. You should have this whole thing written down on your guided note. Let's do the next problem. If you would like to, you could try doing this on your own first. Pause the video, try it, and then check your answer with mine. Okay, my first step is to highlight the keywords. Well, let's read it first. The cost of a pay-per-view concert on television is $39.95. 5 friends decide to watch the concert together and split the cost equally. What amount will each friend pay? Our first step is to highlight the important information. So we know the cost was $39.95. 5 friends watched it together and that they split the cost equally. And then the questions wants to know how much will each friend pay. The next step is to write a let statement. In this situation, our let statement is going to be let P represent the amount each person pays. We are going to choose the letter P to represent how much each person pays. Now we have to do our next step to make an equation. When I'm thinking about this, I think about what my P represents, and I know at the end I want to get P equals something. In this case, 5 friends pay this amount P, and 5 times that amount P should give us $39.95 because they split it equally. My equation is going to be 5P equals $39.95. And remember, because I didn't put a time sign in here, you don't need one in there. You're just going to write it as a variable beside each other, or if you'd like to, you could put a little dot. Our next step is to solve the equation. To solve, we need to get rid of this 5 out here. To get rid of the 5, because they're multiplied together, we're going to divide. Divide both sides by 5. These give us 1, so on this side we have P equals. I need to divide $39.95 by 5. I'm going to do that over here in this corner. $39.95 divided by 5. Okay, well I have a decimal in division. Remember, when you have a decimal in division, the first step is to bring it up. So we bring up our we bring up our decimal to the top up here. Then we don't worry about the decimal. We divide like normally. 5 can't go into 30. It can't go into 3. So we look at the next one, which is 39, sorry. 5 goes into 39 7 times, which is 7 times 5 is 35. We subtract them, we get 4, we bring down our 9. 5 goes into 49 9 times. 9 times 5 is 45. We subtract them, and we get a 4. Bring down this 5. 5 goes into 45 9 times. 9 times 5 is 45. We subtract and get 0. So we know that P equals $7.99. What amount will each friend pay is what the question was asking us. We need to write a word answer. So we'll write that each friend will pay $7.99. And that's it. Here is your question. You need to try this on your own. I'll read it out loud here for you, and then you need to try it right now. A healthy person has a normal temperature of about 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Suppose a sick person needs to decrease his temperature by 3.7 degrees Fahrenheit to return to normal. Use an equation to find the sick person's temperature. Follow the steps that we went over and try this one on your own. If you're struggling with this, watch the movie or watch the video again. And tomorrow we're going to go over it quite a bit in class, so you should be should feel more comfortable about it tomorrow. I hope you have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow.